Good afternoon. It's Late Night Whispers on It's Gorgeous Radio, and I'm Coco. And today I have
Carl McFadgen.
Carl McFadgen. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? But first we go there, this is a very good friend of mine. I had to bring him on my radio show.
Yes, well, once again, my name is Carl McFadgen, originally from New York, born in Brooklyn.
I didn't know
Ra-
that. What?
yes, born in Brooklyn, raised in Long Island,
Oh my goodness.
and I actually came down to DC for school, Howard University in 1990.
Oh, word.
You know.
All the time.
And then once I came down to DC, I never went back to New York, so I've basically been here since 1990.
Oh, wow. I did not know you was from New York. OMG. Okay, so now you went to Howard and now you're here. So did you stay or did you kind of go back and forth or what?
No, actually, I just love DC so much. I just stayed here, never went back home. Me and my friends, we did a couple of things as far as like some small businesses, and then did the 9 to 5 as well, and just made DC my home.
Wow, I don't think I would have left New York because the food and stuff like that. Oh my God. Woo.
Well,
But
one
okay.
thing I do love about DC is just it has the southern feel, and just the people where you can network here is more tighter. As far as New York is so large,
Right,
so and also having family in North Carolina, I'm right in the middle.
Okay, okay. So yeah, you can go back and forth. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, so what got you into Affinity Group?
yeah.
How did
Was
that get started?
sure, sure. So we were always interested in real estate. Um, when I was working at Verizon, so what we decided to do was purchase a building
Okay.
and see if we can kind of handle the management of our own. And it worked out pretty well. And then from there, we said, well, why don't we just start a company? We'll manage our own building and manage, any of our friends if they got properties, manage their properties. And that's how we kind of started Affinity in 2001.
Oh, okay. So what was the first building that you got?
It was in Trinidad,
Oh,
the
okay.
Trinidad
Do you still
neighborhood.
have that one?
No, we don't have that one
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Yep.
So where are your buildings and tell us a little bit about the different sections of your business.
Sure. So we basically started off with the management section, like I said, because we had some properties. And then what happened as we started, some of our friends said, hey, can you manage my property? They didn't have any maintenance people.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, we're managing their properties. Why not start our own maintenance? So if they need something fixed in the
You make a lot of
apartment,
money.
then we could then we could actually do the repairs, and then kind of take it from there. So we started with management, and then started building our maintenance, and then from maintenance we built our construction company.
Now tell us a little bit about the construction.
Sure.
What type of construction work are you just doing houses? Do you do apartments? Do you do?
Yeah, well, on the construction side, anything that's like too big for our maintenance, like changing a light bulb or something like that, we usually push it over to our construction side. So when it's time to turn over a whole unit, that would be kind of our construction division. And then when I say turn it over a whole unit, if the tenant moves out and then you got to fix the whole place, painting, plumbing, electrical, everything, then we'll push that over to our construction. And then we also may have a client that says, "Hey, I need a new kitchen." Then our construction division would take over that job.
Right, because I've used Affinity Group too myself, and I got a bathroom done, and I think we did a little bit of my kitchen. So these people are really, really good. They're honest, and by me working with them as well, you know that we're very, very honest. So that's the one thing that I do appreciate is where you can leave your jewelry, or you know that we're in your bathroom and we got to go through your bedroom. You don't have to worry about things being taken or stolen. That's what I appreciate about you. I know I met you probably
It's been a
at
while.
least 10.
Yeah.
It's been about 10 years where we started cleaning at church. And then
That's
from
right.
there, it just blossomed. So I really love working with Carl. He's very honest, very church-going guy. Plus, he's cute, even though he's married. I always tell him all that. But if you want a team that will come in, give you, oh yeah, tell us about your estimates and things of that nature. But if you want a team that will come in and pretty much do from top to bottom, this is the man.
Yeah, so basically, like I said, our motto, we really just wanted to help people. That was always it. Even if we couldn't do it in house, we would try to link them up with somebody, whether it be, rental assistance, whether it be licensing, anything like that. We knew somebody that can help those people. So we really wanted to just kind of be a one stop for information as well as for the work that people may need done.
Right. Now, even though you're touching little things, can you kind of go a little more detail? Um, Carpet, what do you do? Walls, what do you do? Can you go into a lot more details of each little thing?
Sure, sure. So, I mean, if we just start with drywall work, if we have to knock down some walls, reframe, hang drywall, put insulation in there, like I said, we'll do it from the beginning. On the electrical side, if we have to change our outlets or maybe even heavy up a house, which heavy up means, maybe the initial electric could carry the load when they first moved in the house, but now with all this technology, TVs and everything being added, sometimes you have to heavy up that house, so we could do things like that. Sometimes people have window units and they say, look, I need some central air. We got crew that can do that as well, install a whole central air system in a house. And then it's now with all the high tech technology in houses, if you got to do wiring, we got a crew that can, get your house, loaded with Cat 5 and coaxial cable and things like that. So when it comes to the details, we pretty much can hit it all and go to the flooring. If you need your subfloor done, which will usually where you lay your carpet on top of, or either your tile on top of, we can fix all of that. If you got some messed up beams, and your floor is like slanted and things like that, we can jack it up and get it leveled out for you. So pretty much anything you can think of when it comes to construction or maintenance, we have someone that can handle it.
Okay. Now, what if somebody has a hoarder house or just moved out an apartment and you know how you have to clean the apartment up before the first month's rent so you can get that back, security deposit?
Sure. Well, of course, we have a great cleaning director, and her name is Coco. So yeah, I mean, as Coco knows, we've had to go in houses where bags and garbage and everything left over, and we have to clean it out. You know, not necessarily if we was gonna do the next phase of the work, but sometimes people that look, I ain't trying to go in this apartment, I ain't trying to go in this house, it's just too junky. Can y'all get it cleared out where it's just, the walls and the floor? So as you know, we have done that.
And also too, we've also done elaborate on water issues because of this rain. We're getting ready to have 3 days of rain.
Right.
So elaborate on that.
Yeah, so of course we get the basement flooded calls, we get the roof leaking floods, and then from there, as you know, we have to dry out the units, get them, mold, cleaned up, and sometimes we have to tear out the carpet, tear out the flooring, and get it out of there, and just set up the machines and set up the blowers so we can prevent, you know, more damage than what is already done. And the sooner they let us in, the sooner we can kind of stop the damage, especially with the mold.
Exactly. Now, what do you do as a painting? I'm trying to think of every little nick and cranny. I know that you have landscaping. Tell us a little bit about that, a little bit about painting. I'm trying to think of anything else. Hauling and also to moving.
Yeah, so if we start with landscaping, as you know, we got a crew that can just do, your regular cuts, but then we got a master landscaper that can kind of design, your place with pavers, patios and decks and things like that. So we got a crew that can do that all the way down, like I said, to just if you just need like your grass cut. And then in regards to the other question you asked about,
Hold on, what did I ask?
said landscaping,
Landscaping, painting.
painting. So, like I said, going back to the painting, we got crew that if we have to frame out a wall first, they could do that. And then we got a crew that will, can hang the drywall and actually do the professional painting. If you got put up some crown molding and things like
Or if
that.
they wanted to build shelves, you can do that as well.
Yep, got carpenters that could do that as well. Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever done any glazings? I know that's the hot thing out.
Sure. So we got a crew that can glaze tubs because a lot of times people don't want to spend the money to replace a tub because it can be expensive. So they're like, look, can you get this tub or this sink blinging again? And we got a crew that'll come in
And then
there
can you
and
glaze the concrete as well?
yep, we can
That
glaze the
is hot.
concrete.
That
Yep.
you can glaze concrete to make it look like a marble floor, which
Right.
didn't cost as much money. That right there is hot. I
Yep.
really like that. I forgot what was the other question that I asked you. Oh my goodness. What else? Okay, tell us a little bit about like if somebody has something that needs to be done. Do you charge when you come out? Can you tell them about estimations and
Sure, sure.
estimates?
So we do not charge for estimates. And then we always let the client know, hey, even after us, go ahead and get you 2 or 3 more estimates so that you can compare. Because like I said, our job is really to help people. Of course, we want to make money, but the most important thing, if you help people, one, they'll trust you, and then you'll get business. Whether you get their business, you may get their friends business. So when it comes to estimates, we don't charge, and it's kind of like free consultation because we try to let them know, hey, maybe try this or that, and we tell them take notes because if even if you may not use us, at least you have information when you're talking to another contractor.
Right. Now, how, what type of, do you create payment plans? Do you want a third? I know most people want a third down and then the rest, but what do you do for when somebody comes through a hardship or whatever?
Sure, sure. Well, we have like a credit department of our accounting team, and we're always looking to work with the person, whatever situation is. So we've had it where, of course, we would do like a half down and a half upon completion, third, third, third. And then, like I said, some people we work on a payment plan because they may not have, the money to pay for the whole job. So it's as a person, need basis, but we're always trying to help people and work with
And
them.
what do you do when you get those problems where you just can't get that money? Do you try to keep on going? Have you had to take them to court? I'm like, we ain't got to go
Sure.
too deep, but
Yeah, I mean, I- in this business, we like to finish a job. And that's, of course you want to get paid, but like I said, if we start a job, we really want to finish it. So we try hard to work with the person, even if, they may not have the money by the time the job is over. Our main goal is to finish the job, give you a good product. Because like you said, if you take care of a person, it usually leads to more
word of
business.
mouth.
Word of mouth is usually your
Always a
best
good thing.
advertisement. It could be
Right.
your best and it could be your worst, depending
Right.
on how you're treating people.
Now, what if you have a situation? Okay, tell us one of your best situations, and then tell us one of your bad situations.
Okay, sure. One of our best situations, we remodeled completely. Um, it's called Mommy's TLC. They're on Georgia Avenue, right across the street from Howard. So we did their whole building. We worked with their architect, and then we built that building pretty much. I mean, gutted it out and everything, and it's still up and running. It's serving children, so it's kind of like us giving back, to the community. So that was one of the most rewarding jobs that we've done. The most headache job. Um,
You ain't got to say the name of it.
yeah, I
You
won't
just
say
want
any names, but it, the most headache job is usually jobs where we work hard, we get it done, and then the client ain't trying to pay. They ain't trying to work with us, at all. So that that hurts a little bit, but we just got to keep pushing. Because one thing we don't do, we try not to burn any bridges. Because like I say,
exactly.
because you just never know.
Been there,
We
did it.
we
Yeah,
we've
we.
helped people and not gotten paid,
Right. Oh
but they
Lord.
end up calling us down the
Woo!
line
To get something
to
else
get something
done.
else done, and they'll pay their old bill.
Oh,
And
they have done
yes,
that.
so that's why
Okay.
it's we
Woo.
really
I
try
hope
not to
that
burn
happens
no
soon.
bridges. So yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Lord. Now tell us, I know that you did I did a little bit of it, but tell us a little bit about Bowie State. How
Sure.
did you get that contract? Because I know that was a large contract. That was a real nice
Right,
contract.
right. Yeah, so Bowie State, we had a great project manager that just basically lived at Bowie State because he would smell out the jobs, just working with the directors and everything. So that was a great. We had a great time doing that until of course he moved to another location out of the state. So that work kind of ended with that. But I mean, we did a lot of work at Bowie State. Dorms, turning over dorms. We did a carpet in one of their. Um, in their Martin Luther King Center. We did ceiling tile for them. Almost anything. We did concrete work for them. We did cleaning work for them. So we've done like pretty much almost anything that we do in our company for Bowie State. So that was fun.
Now is Bowie State the largest, one of your largest contracts?
Yeah, that was definitely one of our largest one.
Do you have anyone that was as big or?
We do a lot of work for New Samaritan Baptist Church, so we do a lot of good things with them. Doing their bathrooms, doing their flooring, drywall work. So that's been a great client as well.
Okay. This is Late Night Whispers on It's Gorgeous Radio, and I'm going to take a quick break. See you in a few minutes. Peace.
30 years ago, the case of the Central Park Five shook New York City to its core. Today, it stands as a cautionary tale of injustice, as Maurice Dubois explains.
Kevin Richardson, 44 years old.
Corey Wise, Raymond Santana.
Yusuf Salam, 45 years old.
Antron McCray.
5 men, connected in a way few of us could ever imagine. Is there a day or a week or a month that goes by when you don't think about the whole episode that brought you together?
It's every day, constantly.
Probably my second or third thought.
Even our conversations is different. It's not normal. Our conversation would be about prison, how we had to survive in prison.
You've just met the Central Park Five, a name they came to share 30 years ago after a young white woman named Trisha Miley went for a jog in New York's Central Park.
It was a brutal attack on a 28-year-old woman jogger.
She was dragged down the bushes where she was beaten and sexually assaulted.
The attack was an outrage and became a media sensation. Investigators quickly focused on a group of black and Hispanic boys who were in the park that night.
Police say the gang of attackers was actually just half of a wolf pack of some 33 kids that committed some 7 other muggings earlier that night.
We are announcing the arrests of 4 males, all between 14 and 15 years of age.
Let them through.
Eventually, the 5 teenagers were tried, convicted, and imprisoned for the crime they maintained they did not do.
All we need is for one to tie this whole thing together.
The story of how the boys were charged and years later cleared of that notorious crime is the subject of a new Netflix miniseries by the Oscar-nominated writer-director Ava DuVernay. What was your starting point for this story?
My goal was to humanize boys and now men who are widely regarded as criminals, and in doing that, to invite the audience to reinterrogate everyone that they define as a criminal.
The series is called When They See Us, and DuVernay contends that what is seen all too often in criminal cases is race.
I'm asking the question to everyone, what do you see when you see black boys? And that's a painful answer because I know what the answer is for many people. It's exactly what these boys were called, wolf pack, animals, criminals. So much so that they could be tossed aside on a case that was made from a complete lie.
Kevin, Antron and Raymond saw you messing around with the lady.
Who said that?
In the series, as in life, only 2 of the 5 teenagers even knew each other. But during interrogation, they say police coerced them to create stories implicating one another.
Who are you talking about? The lady in the park! I didn't see a lady or hit anyone.
Raymond saw you hit her!
Who's Raymond?
The men who lived through it say the reality was even worse.
Soon as we get in, they separate us and they start working on us. And I'm hearing Corey being physically beaten in the next room. And I'm immediately beyond afraid.
At the time, my mom, she suffered from a stroke. She had diabetes, and she left. And that was their time to get on me.
And what happened?
What didn't happen?
We're 14, 15, and 16-year-old kids. Never been in trouble with the law, never had no police contact. These are seasoned veterans. This fight was fixed.
I just kept telling the truth at first. They asked to speak to my father. My father left the room with them, came back in the room, he just changed. Cursing, yelling at me. And he said, tell these people what they want to hear so you go home. I was like, Dad, but I ain't do anything. The police yelling at me, father yelling at me. And I just like, all right, I did it. And I looked up to my father. He was my hero. But he gave up on me. You know, I was telling the truth. He just told me to lie.
Did you ever make peace with your father?
No. Didn't want to. My life is ruined. Why should I? He's a coward.
Let me tell you right now, Corey, okay? This is very, very serious.
None of the 5 ever admitted to committing the rape, but they did confess to being there.
You know that other people say that you did.
I know I did.
They blamed each other, damning admissions, even in the absence of physical evidence.
No blood on their clothing. The semen doesn't match. The DNA tests come back negative. There's nothing that links these boys to the crime.
All were found guilty. 4 of the 5 served about 7-year sentences as juveniles, refusing early parole because it required admitting guilt. But the oldest of the group, Corey Wise, served time as an adult. In his 13th year in prison, Wise had a chance encounter with another inmate that would change the lives of all the men convicted of the rape.
The resolution of this whole tragedy came from something that I don't believe is happenstance. It's a coincidence that borders on miracle.
Matias Reyes spotted Wise in a prison yard.
So it's just talking to me. Wow, you still here after all these years? I guess so.
They'd met years before, and he began to feel guilty that Wise was still in prison for a crime Reyes had committed.
He saw Corey and was like, he's still here? I gotta tell the truth.
Reyes confessed that he alone committed the rape, offering details about the crime that only the assailant would know. His DNA was a match, and the men were exonerated. The city of New York eventually agreed to a $41 million settlement, about $1 million for each year of imprisonment.
Did the money make it better? We were able to relocate, put our children in better situations. Besides that, no.
No amount of money could have given us our time back.
Is there a life lesson for what you've been through?
Truth. I preach to my kids, just tell the truth, be true to who you are. Honestly, the last time I lied got me 7.5 years for something I didn't do.
All right, we're back, and you've just seen a clip of this of a series. It's getting ready. Oh, sorry, so sorry. You're seeing a clip of a show that I wanted to discuss. Number one, I could never in a million years be accused for anything, not less being accused for something that I didn't do, nor than have to do the time. And one of the guys, his father told him to keep on pleading that you didn't do it, and I guess when he went out and came back, then he was like, well, just go on and plead so we can just be done so you can go home. I wish my parents would tell me to plead guilty for something I didn't do. I'd be like, what? But this is I just don't understand our justice. I thought it was like you're supposed to prove innocence, not put something on a piece of paper to say, okay, because he's black or he's white or whatever the case may be, let's just charge him. Or you tired of research and you just let's just charge these guys here so we can be done, so we can go home and eat our steak tartare, and then they can just be locked up and eat whatever they eat, you know, in jail. What is your? Because I know because this is my first time even hearing about this particular incident. My parents didn't let me watch a lot of news, so I'm sorry.
Well, as I mentioned, when you first asked me about myself, I'm from New York, so I remember this story like it was like yesterday. And it was a powerful story. But like I said, I had watched the documentary before this came out, and stuff that we didn't know that they didn't put in the papers. The documentary just exposed a lot of dirt that they did on the brothers. So it was I mean, I'm just happy they somewhat have their mental capacity right now after going through all of that. So just definitely praying for them all.
I can't imagine. Number one, I know, I ain't gonna get into too much of my life, but I know my father was one of the type of people that he was like, okay, make sure you don't do nothing wrong. I'm gonna take you to court, take you to jail. Well, I don't know how long I was in there, but that was not a happy scene. And then I'm gonna say this one little small thing. One of the guys that was in jail said, "I'm gonna take your cookies from you." I didn't know what a cookie was. I thought a cookie was something I went to the corner store to eat till I got older. But when I was there, I was like, "Oh my God, look at this little bitty. You can't even turn around good." I was like, "Oh, you ain't gotta ever, ever, ever worry about me." But and I know that's just kind of making it a little light about it, but the situation is awful. There are so many people that have been locked up for things that they didn't do. And I don't know, I just wish I could just do a whine and say, you get out, you get out, you get out, you get out. But I just feel sorry for everybody who has had to go to jail. Now, if you did do something wrong, well, then you should be there. But if you didn't, then they need to let these people go. And they need to, there's no amount of money, I think, that could really cover, but I really feel that the justice system should at least, whatever, if they did 7 years, 70,000, I don't know how you could base me not being able to get up and brush my teeth when I want to, or buying the luxury car that I should have had, or buying a house or having kids, or blase, blase, blase. I don't know how you could put a price on it, but if you could put a price on it, I feel like everybody who has been locked up wrongly, don't just tell me thank you or sorry. I don't want your sorry bull crap. I want money. Give me money. At least the money can now allow me to step out, and that can at least get me an apartment. I just happened to speak to somebody recently who's trying to buy a house, and he was telling me that because he was on papers and he was a felon, he can't even buy a house. And I'm like, oh my God, for real though? So you stop them, they can't vote, and I think now they're trying to make a law now in DC that even if you are in jail, you can still vote, but it won't kick in until 2021, which that's going to be too late because we need to get this dude that we got in here now out. But what I'm just trying to say is, if you've done your time, then allow me to establish now. Let me get a house. Let me get an apartment. I get it that you might not be able to be around kids. Okay. I get it that you can't be around certain areas or whatever the case may be. I think also too, if you was a felon, you can't even be in the area wherever you did that bad crime at. I know it's some places, not every place. Okay, cool. But why can't, if the felon is now working 9 to 5, doing the things that you're supposed to do, especially if you were still on papers, and now you're off of papers and you're still doing the exact same thing that you was doing while you was on papers, why can't you buy a house? And like I said, somebody had just happened to cue me on that, and I was like, really? For real? So, but then if we're black, and as soon as we write down that we're black, they don't even want to give you a house. When my parents moved here, it was because of a white guy sold his house. That's the reason why my parents got a house off of 16 hours, because if you was coming in here, you had to buy a house where they wanted you to. Now, true that my parents ended up having 2 houses, but the house on 16 hours, Once they found out that my mom and my dad had gotten that house, oh, they was trying to get them up out of there. So my parents ended up divorcing, but they ended up was able to still keep that house. But I mean, they was coming at them left and right. Are you sure? Let me see this paperwork. Let me see. Did you sign it right? They were trying to find every little thing to stop my parents from keeping that house. And I never understood it until, I guess, I'm older now, but that's crazy. That is so crazy. Okay, we're gonna do one more news clip, and we'll be right back.
Washington, D.C. are trying to track down a woman who was caught on cell phone video in a road rage incident. Here's Jeff Pegues.
The witnesses on a Greyhound bus were stunned by what unfolded in front of them last night.
Kidding me? She's been arrested. That's a federal crime.
A woman with a silver car jack in her hand starts pounding on the driver's side window, and then takes another shot at a side mirror before walking back to her car.
Kidding me?
But it doesn't end there. In fact, it escalates. The bus driver, wearing a blue shirt, stands in front of her car while trying to call the police. The suspect attempts to drive away.
Oh, get that. She's going to jail.
Greyhound bus passenger Juan Blanco was recording with his cell phone.
It was just scary. And she just started going AWOL. She tried to go inside the bus, but the bus was locked.
Oh, man.
That's all, man.
Witnesses tried to intervene. The bus driver jumps on her car, but she speeds off, throwing him to the ground.
Oh, my God.
He suffered scrapes and bruises. Investigators say they have identified the woman, and it's just a matter of time before she's taken into custody. According to the most recent AAA study, nearly 80% of drivers express significant anger, aggression, or road rage behind the wheel at least once in the past year. That video is a graphic example of that, and one thing police advise you never to do is stand in the way. John.
Graphic indeed. Jeff Pegues. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, we're back. Okay, now, I know I have traffic rage. OMG. They say the left lane, you're supposed to drive fast. Why do you go from the right lane all the way to the left lane and then go slow? Especially if you're going through PA, OMG. You PA people need to learn how to drive. But this particular accident was kind of crazy because it was dealing with a bus driver, and she came around and she hit the glass and then she hit the door, and everybody videotaping her, and she's still going at it. And then, now, I think the driver of the bus was dumb, because why on earth are you going to try to hold on to the car, or why would you even stand in front of the car? That doesn't even make any sense to me. I was road rage a couple of weeks ago. I just took the picture, and the girl said, "Oh, you got my good son?" I said, "I sure enough did," and I brought charges against her because she cut me off. She cut in front of me, then she followed me. That was the part that she messed up. You should never have followed me, because you never know what the other person is doing. What do you think about this show? What do you think about what we just saw?
Well, road rage is real.
All the time.
And it's funny because I think a lot of the rage is also stemming from distracted drivers. Because I know a lot of times you be like, the light be green, car just be chilling, and everybody behind them blowing, and then the person that'll pull around, you look at that driver, most of the time they on their phone.
They on the phone. Mm-hmm.
So I know distracted driving is really kind of beefing up this road rage.
And it's just crazy. And then I know IBM is creating, Apple is creating, not IBM. Apple is creating, now I don't know how much it's going to cost, and I thought about if it comes out, I'll get it. It's like a little thing that comes across the back of your window, and it'll say, if I jumped in front of you, it'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry for jumping in front of you." Now, I don't know whether that would calm me down. It could be an effort, but I don't know. But I just kind of wish that if you're going to drive. Don't need to see count how many pieces of hair. Are they cutting that grass good? Especially 66. OMG, when they put that sign 2 miles saying that they're getting ready to cut grass, I swear, these people slow down to make sure that they get that part, they get that part, to get that part. OMG, but you don't want to base anything on me because I know I'm a road rage. I'm a heavy footer. Woo, Lord child, help me, help me, help me. We're going to do one more. And we'll be back. I'm so sorry.
To our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.
So there's this intersection in D.C. at 7th Street and Florida Avenue. It's ground zero in the battle over gentrification of black neighborhoods in big cities. And D.C. is the most gentrified city in the country. The Metro PCS store, that location has been playing go-go music on loudspeakers outside the store for 24 years. I've danced out there a few times myself. Go-go is a DC music specialty characterized by live performance and a strong, unique rhythm, really a beat. When T-Mobile bought out Metro PCS, the new owners told the store owner, Donald Campbell, to stop playing the music. According to Campbell, T-Mobile told him that a neighbor threatened to sue, bring it, the company over noise from the outdoor speakers. So he stopped. Everybody else is mad because we missed the music. Other neighbors, other African-American people were like, There was a protest last night to support Donald Campbell and Go-Go. And my guest, Ronald Moten, peaceaholics and all kind of stuff, a DC activist, is here to talk to us about gentrification, about how we feel when our mostly black neighborhood gets a Whole Foods Market, a whole lot of young white folks with dogs. I'd have to throw that in there. I mean, if you follow me on Facebook, I occasionally talk about the Brads and the Beckys, the dog-loving colonizers who have more money than heart. More money than heart. But Ron Moten, you organized this protest. Tell us about it.
Yes, I've been dealing with this for over 20 years. Our culture has been attacked for more than 20 years in Washington, D.C., and now people have a lot of heart, and things they couldn't say before they're saying now. He was attacked over the last 5 years as they built all these big luxury condos and apartments around his building, as though people didn't come there and hear the noise before what they call noise. We don't call it noise. We call it music. It came from Africa. You know the beat that came from Africa? So we don't call it noise. We call it music, right? So they start complaining, and it's almost like what I tell them. I say, okay, in order for you to move in Washington, D.C. now, you have a lot of money. So that means you have a lot of money to move back where you came from. Okay. So if they don't like the music, why did you get upset with something that you knew was there? So
when you look at that
culture
apartment
killers.
that you live in, you heard the music then. So
and that's what you do when you move in a neighborhood. You go and see if you like is the crime bad? Do they have enough amenities and things like that? So if you heard the noise, why did you move? So it's the entitlement and privilege, some people think, that they can come and crush people. And they're doing this all over America. They've done it in Harlem. They've done it in Chicago. They're doing it in D.C. And we're saying we got to take a stand. And it's not just about this location. They've done it at another location called the VIP room. That's been in D.C. for 50 years.
Miss Addie's place, the Island.
They tried to shut them down.
Wait a minute. They said that there was too much noise on U Street. If you walk down U Street, there's nothing but noise. And this was a Jamaican Caribbean restaurant that had the best wings. Right. And she was an older lady. And she couldn't fight. She just finally said, I'm
on U Street, the Islander. Yeah, the Islander. They did the same thing.
I'm in my 70s. I'm out of here.
They did it to the Masjid Muhammad, the mosque. They said the praying was too loud. They've been doing it for 30 years. I mean, like, these people have some nerve. Like, you come to our city, we were here paying taxes, we were here doing all these things when nobody wanted to be here, and then you come here to a vibrant city and tell us to get out?
But brother, there was a whole country here full of vibrant people.
Right.
They first came in talking about manifest destiny. Right. So they're just being consistent. You got to give them credit for being consistent. We need to be consistently resistant and be just as consistently resistant as they are. Gentrification is annihilation and conquering.
Right.
That's what
it
is.
And
it's white supremacy.
And we can't. And I'm not saying what you're doing and not doing because I don't really know. I'm just meeting you for the first time. But we need to organize with bodies against this whole thing, because this is a conquering of us.
Well, I tell you what I'm happy about. Over 45,000 people to this moment have signed a petition in one day. Black and white people.
Is it online?
Yes.
Tell us where it is. Okay.
Don't mute DC music. And the thing about this is black and white people have come and tell this one white guy and the few bad people who told me that we are disrespectful because we are playing go-go music in their community.
In their community?
Yes.
Wait, isn't this right by Howard University?
It's their community.
Yeah. In their community.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to tell you something. Right across the street, there are two rooftop party places where if you walk past there at 1 o'clock, you hear all this noise, but they don't have a problem with that. And the problem is when they see many colored people, they have a problem.
Well, can I just say something just very quickly?
Sure.
Because we've heard this. I remember whether it's U Street or there were people who moved to China, Gallery Place, Chinatown, to complain about the street performers and things who were out there, knowing that they were there. But particularly with this particular, I think it's important to point out that the problem is that there's a loudspeaker that is placed outside the store. And so that's what people are protesting.
For 25 years.
Whether it's 35 or 45 years, the fact is that the loudspeaker is placed outside the store. They were asked to place the loudspeakers inside the store. And so that's where people started to...
And they're not breaking any laws.
Right.
So they didn't break any ordinance laws. So if you're not breaking the law, why put your speaker inside? I mean, we've been doing this in this city since I've been born. I remember people used to go around with their big boom boxes. Don't mess with our culture. Don't mess with our history. If you don't like it, go back to the boring place that you came from. Go back to holy hell.
All right, folks, back to that Road Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Calling all HBCU alumni, students, and leaders. Enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU.
We're back. Now, this right here was a hot topic. I wanted to just talk a little bit about it. I remember one of a white guy being interviewed, and he was like, I don't understand why we have to listen to this music and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, this. And I was just saying to myself, that's like they had just said, if you're going to buy a house, and I do this when I'm going to get a house, I sit, I listen, I go at night, and I listen, and I go in the daytime, and I listen. So if you heard this music playing from at least 8 a.m. in the morning to at least 8 p.m., do you really think that it's going to stop because you're another color than us, and you're planning to just stop the type of music that we have? I don't understand. And we still got our music, nah.
But it's funny because, like I said, I went to Howard, so that store's been there since I've been in D.C. So I'm just happy that we fought back to prevent that from happening, and power to the people.
Yeah, because and then something else I think that they did say was that when one guy sold it to the next guy, he said it was within the documentation of selling you have to play this music. So I guess once these white people started coming and saying, well, can you turn it down? So I guess he got a little scared, or maybe they said, well, we're not going to buy any more PCS phones from you or whatever. But I'm so glad that is still up and alive, and I'm glad that they got the petitions now. If you can just petition to work out these killings and stabbings, that would be a two thumbs up too as well. But we're almost done. I would like for Carl to break it down, let everybody know all of his information. But before he does that, if anybody has a business, if you're starting a business, if you want to advertise your business, if you want to do a commercial, or even if you want to be promoted within my show, please let me know, 202-510-2199. You can get me on Facebook, Instagram, my website as well, latenightwhispers.com. So please reach out if you want to do anything to promote your business.
Sure. So if you want to contact Affinity Group, you're welcome to go check out our website at www.affinitygroup, and that's affinity with an A, affinitygroup.us. So that's www.affinitygroup.us. You could also call us at 202-832-0000. That's 202-832-0000. And feel free to shoot us text messages at 202-365-2317, 202-365-2317.
Okay. Thank you so very, very much, Carl. And again, if anybody needs any type of work, no matter whether it's hauling, construction, moving, flooring, walls, you name it, you need it. If you just want a house and get it started from the bottom to the top, this man can do it. It's Late Night Whispers on its gorgeous radio, and I'm Coco. Good night. Mwah.